3-minute rounds. Introducing to you firstly in the blue cornering, blue shorts trimmed with leopard print. He weighed in at 11 stone, 4 pounds, 8 ounces. From 46 professional contests, his record boasts 8 wins and 3 draws, 4 wins coming by way of knockout. He competed in the London 2012 Olympics. Originally from Cameroon, now based in Sheffield, Serge Ambomo. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing white and black shorts trimmed with gold. He weighed in at 11 stone, 4 pounds, 6 ounces. He brings to the ring a perfect professional record of 4 wins from 4 contests. Boxing in his home city of Doncaster, Jake Goodwin. Your timekeeper at the bell is Peter Humphrey of Doncaster. Your referee is Rhys Carter from Cardiff. Referee Rhys Carter will now give both boxers their final instructions.
All right, lads, you're professionals, you know the rules. Keep it clean, listen to my instructions, and defend yourself at all times. Good luck, shake hands.
So, touch of gloves. This is our final fight of the night. 6 rounds at super welterweight. Jake Goodwin boxing out of that red corner. He's in the white and black. Serge Ambomo in the blue, green and leopard. Ambomo, a London 2012 Olympian with Cameroon, alongside the likes of Thomas Asomba, Abdon Caesar, Blaise Mendu, Christian Donfak, and Chafak. They all sought asylum after the games and were settled in various parts of the country. Ambomo in Sheffield. He's a good fighter, strong, capable operator. Had a couple of consecutive wins against Jerome Wilson. Second one resulting in a serious brain injury for Wilson. After that, Ambomo was out of the ring for a couple of years, and when he did come back, it was in the away corner. Really, he's been in with some good fighters. And if Goodwin's not on his game here, John, he'll have a problem.
He will. Ambomo, his fire maybe have just dimmed a little bit, hasn't it? He used to be a real handful. He used to come for the knockout win every single time. But maybe in the last couple of years, that ambition's just waned a little bit. He tends to wait for the big shots and wait for his moments to explode, doesn't he? But if Goodwin's not in his game, Ambomo's more than capable of hurting him. You can see Ambomo just setting his stall out straight from the opening bell, can't you? Looking to stalk Goodwin and look for right hand. The right hand's the punch Ambomo's going to look for, and you can see him trying to set it up straight away.
He was super lightweight when he started out. He's gone up as high as middle at times. It's not generally gone that well for him when he's gone that high against good opposition. Denzel Bentley stopped him, Marcus Morrison too, but those are 2 good operators who met actually back in mid-September. I was there for that one. That was a real shootout over 4 very bloody rounds. Trying to keep it long there, isn't he, Goodwin?
He is. There is the temptation, I suppose, to a fighter like Ambomo, when you know what he's capable of going to safety first and worrying too much about what Ambomo could possibly do to you. But good look at Goodwin's advantages. He's got his southpaw, he's got a nice long jab, he's got advantages in height and reach. If he can establish that jab, take the centre of the ring, you would imagine he'd be able to have things pretty much his own way. If he gives up too much ground, spends too much time worrying about what Ambomo can do, he might just end up negating himself a little bit.
Decent jab there from Goodwin. National University champion at a couple of weights, 69 and 75 kilos, so welterweight and middleweight. Learning fights so far for him.
Yeah, well schooled, isn't he? Very calm. Has looked the part so far on the VIP shows that we've seen him on. I think he would like to have been a little bit more active. I know he's delayed turning over as a professional and been a couple of reasonable spells out the ring already, so he'll be looking to stay active. But nice, well-schooled boxer, you can see. High hands, tight guard. Straight left hand.
Controlled that opening round nicely. Didn't give Ambomo any real encouragement there. He's got to get tighter, closer, Ambomo, if he's going to get his work done. As we were saying earlier, though, they've been a real addition to the British boxing scene. Ambomo, Abdon Caesar, Thomas Asomba, They're really, really capable fighters.
Yeah.
Somba's done the best of the bunch. He's won some titles. He's been in with some top operators. Now teamed up with Sonny Edwards, I think, hasn't he, as one of his road fighters.
Yeah, he's a regular title contender, isn't he, Thomas Ambomo? They're all good characters as well. I remember Blaise Mendu, the Cameroonian, was working with Pat Barrett in Collyhurst. And Blaise was a real character. I once saw him take part in a public workout in the lobby of a Tesco's. He had to be pushed for flowers to one side and the, Insta-Light coal, and Pat Barrett took him on pads in Tesco's one Sunday morning. But yeah, all real characters and a real exciting addition at times to the professional boxing in Britain.
On the list of things that he probably thought would never happen to him when he was growing up in Yaoundé, that would probably be pretty high, wouldn't it? Well, it wouldn't be on the list because he never would have thought it. That's the great thing about boxing. Just brilliant stories, those guys. Brilliant stories. And they've all been in the UK for 10 years now. And they've kept boxing pretty much all of them. I think Blaise is done, isn't he? Has been for a little while. But Asomba and Ambomo absolutely still going. Turning over nicely on that left hand there. Goodwin, he's got to make sure that he throws these with enough pop that when they land on Ambomo, they just stop him walking in.
Yeah, if Ambomo doesn't respect your power, it's very difficult to stop him rolling forward, isn't it? But if he does, he finds it very difficult to then get untracked. You know, if you give him movement and you can stop him in his tracks when he starts coming, he runs out of ideas. Lands a nice right hand there on Goodwin.
Got slightly closer there, Ambomo. Let the right go into the body. Very, very strong upper body he's got on him, Serge Ambomo. As I mentioned, he started at 140 pounds, so this is well above his natural weight, but he's still in fearsome condition.
I was there at the second fight he had with Jerome Wilson as well, and he was a fearsome condition, but he was a fearsome fighter, wasn't it? Horrendous ending to that fight, but it was a thrilling fight while it lasted, and Bomo looked like he could be a genuine problem, didn't he, for people? And like I say, over the years, as he's gone into the away corner, maybe that fire's just dimmed a little bit with the ambition when he's realised he might not get to the levels he wanted to, but still on his day and at any moment he's got that ability to turn any prospect's world upside down.
It was a sad night because it was a much anticipated rematch. It was a good fight, but then he knocked Jerome Wilson out, and as Wilson lay prostrate on the canvas, in the heat of the moment, purely Ambomo did the throat-cutting gesture, and then when what transpired, and Jerome was fighting for his life in hospital, obviously people saw that, they remembered it, and he was persona non grata. He was out of the ring for a couple of years. No one really wanted to know him at that stage, but he had to keep boxing because he's got to make a living.
And Goodwin just holding his feet there, got his own shot, but Ambomo just let that right hand go.
Good to see plenty of people sticking around for this one. It's deep into the evening. We didn't get any stoppages on the undercard, so this one had to be bumped down the list till a little bit later. We didn't get any stoppages at all.
Not a single one.
Tonight.
No. The only knockouts of the night came in the first fight when a very promising young middleweight called Jamie Mellors scored a couple of knockdowns, but apart from that, it's been distance fights all the way, hasn't it? Very difficult position for a young fighter like Jake Goodwin as well. You know, talented guy. He was given a good spot. He was going to be the main fight featured on our YouTube undercard, but instead he's had to wait around for another couple of hours to finally make his appearance. He's probably warmed up 3 or 4 times. Very difficult position.
No, it's not easy, that. It's not easy, that. You were saying earlier that one of the interesting things about being a fight night, if you've got some good access, is that you can roam around backstage and have a look around the changing rooms, and that's what you'd have seen. You'd have seen somebody gloved up and ready to go from about 8 o'clock, probably, something like that. 8:30, certainly.
And then when you're fighting a guy with the power of Serge Ambomo, if you come out cold, if you're not quite switched on, if you're not quite up to speed, it can be a very dangerous situation. So Goodwin came out nice and alert, left glove pinned to the side of his head, just as we say that, he blocks one. And just looking to draw the sting out of Ambomo, and let's see if he picks up the pace now in round 3.
Big swinging right hand again there from Ambomo. He's having to throw that from quite a long way out because Goodwin's just pumping out that lead right, that southpaw jab, and he's not allowing him just to walk in, to creep in.
That high guard Ambomo has makes it pretty difficult to land anything impactful up top, doesn't it? And the condition the guy's whipped himself into, you have to wonder whether it's worth even going to the body at times. Maybe just to distract him, maybe to lower that guard. Jake's just trying to get his right foot outside, maybe looking to open up a path for that left hand, but I think he's going to have to set it up, isn't he? He's not going to come with a clear shot. Maybe work the body a little bit and then step outside and let that left hand go.
Just stepped off a little bit wider with his lead foot that time, which changed the angle slightly on the left hand. But you're right, it's not an easy target to find, and he sinks his head in between those impressive looking shoulders. Right hand lead there from Ambomo, just popped through. But he's doing the right thing here, Goodwin. He's holding his shape. He's not getting greedy. That's what could cause you problems in fights like this. Yeah. Left hand underneath there. That was a nice bit of variety. Punch a 1-2 down the middle. But for the first time before that, he really looked to go into the body, into the pit of the stomach, and that's exactly what he's got to be careful of there, because he's had a bit of success there. He's warming into things, and he's maybe thinking, OK, I can put them together a little bit more now, and Ambomo's just waiting for you to do that almost.
Yeah, it's finding that fine line, isn't it, between landing your shots, getting away, and then letting Ambomo trundle forward again, and then going for that second phase, but putting yourself at risk. Goodwin probably just about escaped with it there. Ambomo let something go and didn't quite land, but good that Goodwin showing the ambition to stay on top of Ambomo.
Bonus 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 4.
So into the second half of the fight here, scheduled for 6. And Jake Goodwin, as we've been saying, he's going about this in the right way. He may appear at times to be a little bit circumspect, but this is the way you need to do it against somebody like Ambomo, who is dangerous if you allow him to be. And Goodwin is not allowing him to be, because he's got the height and the reach on him, and he's using it. It's always good to see a fighter with natural tools, John, actually use them, because it's not always the way, is it?
No, sometimes they can neglect them completely, can't they, and get caught up in the moment, caught up in the excitement of the night, and caught up in their own ego at times. But Goodwin's very level-headed here, isn't he? You know, he knows what's working. Picture perfect for a light middleweight as well, you know, perfect build, perfect size, perfect range. He's using that southpaw jab and using those skills that he's got, and just keeping Ambomo in his box. just a question, really, of whether Ambomo at this stage of his career has got that ambition and fire inside him to really commit to it and try and change things. Nice little dig to the body there with a left hand, wasn't it, from Goodwin?
It was, yeah, just took it underneath. It's not just going exclusively up to the head, just hitting those gloves, popping a few down the middle. He's landing every now and again because the blood coming from the nose of Ambomo tells you that, landing clean, I mean. Sometimes these will ricochet through gloves. Gloves will be knocked back into the face. Has an impact. The way he throws that jab, he doesn't snap it out really quickly, but there's some weight on it, I think.
Yeah, he seems to be able to fit it through the guard as well, doesn't he? Just changes the angle of his hand at times to just make sure he can get it through the gap.
And Bomo with a big right hand over the top there. He's in trouble here, Goodwin, and that's exactly what we were talking about. He was having some success. He was putting his punches together, stepped in to try and provide a bit of a flourish. Over the top came Serge Ambomo, caught him high on the head, and the legs did a little dance there, but he did the right thing. He grabbed hold, but he's in danger here at the minute, Goodwin. He's got to be careful. Ambomo just looking to tee off those punches coming from right down the back of a hall almost. He's throwing them from. They're winging in from such a distance, but Goodwin exchanging on the ropes, gets caught with a left hand there, and it's really catching fire in the fourth round.
Yeah, Goodwin needs to move, doesn't he? He's holding his feet, He got hurt once, and then twice since he's held his feet in the middle of a firefight. The total wrong thing to do, just as we were talking about using his attributes, using that range, using that jab, he neglected them. Exactly what we were saying. Held his feet for too long and gave Serge Ambomo that one single shot. Serge didn't need to commit to anything to change the fight. Goodwin held his feet and presented him with the opportunity to do so.
And that's why someone like Ambomo was such a good fight for someone like Goodwin, because he had it under control in the first 3 rounds and he made it look quite easy, and people watching, if they've never seen Ambomo before, we've given them the big up at times and they're probably thinking, wondering what we were talking about, but that is the danger. If you get a little bit greedy with him and try and put it on him too much and open out, he's good enough and strong enough that that's what he wants.
Bonus 10 seconds.
Goodwin looks good in the corner, doesn't he? It looks like he's regained himself. He was talking to Wayne Woods, his trainer.
But the legs went a little bit there, didn't they?
Legs went there, and let's just see if Ambomo can capitalise on that very quickly and just test Goodwin's alertness, test his awareness as quickly as he can in this fifth.
It was a big swinging kind of cricket ball of a right hand, wasn't it, that came over the top, and I think it did catch him quite high on the head, which can be bad news sometimes. So final couple of rounds, and I think the corner will have been telling him that don't, as I've been describing it, as I've been terming it, don't get greedy. You've been doing absolutely the right thing all the way through this. The only way this can go wrong is if you start swinging with a swinger. Looking for that big right hand, but Goodwin dealt with it well. Just stepped back and found him with a lead uppercut, but he's looking to try and hold his feet now, and this is what Ambomo will want.
Yeah, I think there was just a glancing blow then, but Goodwin's leg just seemed to shake again, didn't it? His front foot, and yet again he held his feet and then went to hold Ambomo. He should really be looking to get out of those skirmishes, get out of that range as quickly as he possibly can.
This is a real good fight for him, though, isn't it? 4 fights, 4 wins so far, 18 rounds. He's barely lost a round in all of that, from what I can work out. And in this one, he may not have lost a round in this one. That previous round where he was shaken, that could have been enough to get Ambomo the round win. But some questions have been asked of him here. He's been put in a precarious position against a genuinely dangerous guy. Again, he throws the left hand, but he catches the right hand back straight away. There's another big right hand from Ambomo, and Goodwin again is in trouble here. He's got to hang on. He's just got to learn, hasn't he, that he cannot hold his feet in that middle distance and have a trade up with Ambomo, because if he does that even just one more time, maybe, that could be it.
The same thing we mentioned earlier in the night. There's two ranges Goodwin can fight at. He can either be very far away or safe is close, and just hold Ambomo, walk him back to the ropes, push him away and re-establish your range. At the moment, Goodwin is fighting bang in the danger zone.
Ambomo looking for that right hand. Goodwin just trying to tee off with the uppercut, and he's landed a couple of them when they've dug their toes in, the pair of them, and looked to really do some damage. But when they get into that kind of situation, Ambomo of the two looks the more dangerous. And in terms of the scoring, he won the first 3 rounds nicely with the jab, with the 1-2. And those last couple, he got wobbled in the 4th, he's got wobbled again in the 5th. And
he's holding his feet in the danger zone, but when he's getting clipped, he's not reacting in the right way. He's firing back with his chin in the air, throwing wide shots. Ambomo's got shorter arms. He's beating him to the punch and just keeping Goodwin in danger. He needs to escape. There's nothing wrong with just taking a couple of backward steps and getting yourself out of range.
He needs to go back to doing what he was doing in the first 3 rounds. But when you get caught and you get a little bit hurt, and
plan goes out of the window.
Yes, exactly. It's not like the red mist descends, but you just start swinging on instinct sometimes. And I think this will be such a valuable experience for him, because he will know when he watches this back that when he got caught, he did the wrong thing. But prescribing the right thing from where we're sitting is a really easy thing to do, and doing it up there is something that can often come with experience. He needs to get through this experience without getting taken out in this final round, because I'm not being dramatic, it could happen if he's not careful.
And that unravelling purely began from that one mistake. Everything that's followed on from that one swinging Ambomo right hand, which hurt Goodwin, everything that's followed from that point was all down to him just holding his feet, getting greedy for that one split second.
As I was saying, he won those first 3 rounds. He was wobbled in the 4th and the 5th, but that won't necessarily mean that Ambomo will have won both of those 2 rounds. So I would say that Goodwin needs to stay on his feet here in this final round to win this fight. 2 minutes to go. Needs to stay on that jab. Doesn't need to do anything crazy. Got nothing to prove here in this final 90 seconds or so.
Yeah, it's not as if Goodwin's walking a tightrope for the remaining 90 seconds, is it? If he stays doing what he's doing, makes no mistakes, he wins the fight. The only way it can go wrong is if Goodwin gives Ambomo the opportunity to do it. Ambomo's not a rampaging bull on the verge of a stoppage. Goodwin's got the fight in his own hands. If he follows the plan, he'll win.
There's that jab. Just using that jab nicely. Into the final minute. And he'll have learned a lot from this. An awful lot. Just dips those knees. Again, just popping that jab. Ambomo just coming back with a right hand that found the body, but he'd just taken those feet back out of range there, Goodwin, and there was no real damage that could be done.
He's just taken a lot of the weight off the shots in this last round, hasn't he, and just concentrated on movement, and he's been completely out of danger.
Well, there goes the bell. That's the end of our final fight of the night, and Goodwin's going to take that one on the scorecards, and that was An interesting half an hour in the young life of Jake Goodwin there, because those first 3 rounds and that final round, it's like watching 2 different fights, wasn't it? Rounds 1, 2, 3 and 6, and then 4 and 5, as we said, and this is understandable, you have some success, you get a guy like that backpedaling, your eyes light up and you think, oh, okay, maybe he's hurt, maybe I can really do something impressive. You go for that little bit more and he's ready for it, and dangerous when he's under a bit of pressure. So, as we've been saying, that was a good outing for him.
To end the evening's boxing, please put your hands together for both boxers. After 6 rounds of action, we go to referee Reese Carter's scorecard. He scores the contest 59 points to 56 points in favour of your winner from Doncaster, Jake Goodwin.
So a good win there for Jake Goodwin over 6 rounds of Super Welter against Serge Ambomo, and that concludes the evening's entertainment here from Doncaster Racecourse. Thanks very much for joining us. Do come along again next time.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.